Hi, in this video we are going to see how easy it can be to create a truly multi-platform application with Dear ImGui. For the demonstration, we will build a simple RPN calculator. It has a stack to which you can apply any operation. It offers a scientific mode. It can run as a Mac application, an iPhone application, a web application, under Windows, under Linux. On iPhone, it can run as a web application, which you can add to your home screen. And it now runs as a web application from the home screen. For this demonstration, we will be using Hello ImGui, which is a library on top of ImGui, whose goal is to make it easy to create multi-platform applications. It will embed the assets and the application icon automatically. Hello ImGui is the library behind ImGui Manual, which is a great way to learn about ImGui. For those interested, on top of Hello ImGui, there is a library named Dear ImGui Bundle that adds many widgets and can run in C++ and Python. We will be using this template repository. We just clone it. Let's see what we have inside the repository. The CMake list is extremely simple. It will download Hello ImGui automatically, and then you simply write Hello ImGui add app to create an application. Our application code is extremely simple also. This is our GUI function, and this will run it. We also have some assets, as you can see this image here. It is located in the assets folder. Inside the assets folder, there is an app settings folder, which includes the application icon. Let's change the application icon. We paste it here. We run CMake again. Run the application. And it has our new icon. Let's continue with the development of the application. We will need some specific assets. For example, this nice font. So we simply copy it into the assets folder. Then we will need some images for some of the calculator keys. So we simply copy this folder inside the assets folder. We'll also add those source code files, which I will explain later in this video. Now we need to edit the CMake file in order to add our new files. After that, we run CMake again, and then we can run the application. You can see that we generated a fully working Mac application. It includes our assets, the configuration file, which was generated from this, a Mac icon, which was generated from the icon we provided here, and finally the binary for the application. Of course, you can try this on your side, since the code is available on GitHub. In order to build for Windows, we just clone the repository, create a directory for the build, and then run CMake. It downloads Hello ImGui. Once CMake has finished, we can open the project. Now let's run the calculator. The build takes about 1 minute, and you have a fully working calculator. In order to deploy it, you just copy the application and the assets folder. Under macOS and Linux, the principle is easy. You clone the repository, run CMake, and build to obtain a working application. In order to build a web application, you can install Emscripten. using those instructions. In my case, you can see that Emscripten is installed here. I will activate Emscripten by running this script. Now I create a build folder, and then I just run cmake. After that, you just run make. After the build is finished, you can run a web server to see the application. And the web application is available here. You can see the application is in full screen. We can correct this by editing the shell file. We run cmake again and build. And then our application has the correct size. In order to build for iOS, you will need to clone Hello ImGui, reference it inside the build script, init the submodules, and then run a specific script to download SDL. Then you create a folder for the build, run cmake with the following settings. Remember to set the correct development team. And then you can open the Xcode project. Once inside Xcode, select the application, select the destination, and run it. And you have a fully working application on iPhone. Now, let me give you some information about the source code. RPN Calculator groups the application logic, and the user interface is in the app file. Let's go through the application logic. We have some buttons of different types. The calculator button has a name and a type. Some buttons can have an inverse function. The layout of the calculator is defined here. You can see that we have a scientific layout and a basic layout in which we simply remove the first 4 lines. We also have a stack, since this is a stack-based calculator. And finally, the main logic is in the calculator state class. Its state is stored here. And we have 2 callbacks, one for the UI buttons and one for the computer keyboard. The user interface is defined in the app file. First, we set the colors of the different buttons. The application state groups the calculator state and some fonts. Then we have functions to draw the buttons. A function that will lay out the buttons on the calculator. Then we have a function that displays the LCD screen of the calculator. It has some indicators, the stack, and a possible error message. The full user interface groups the LCD screen, the calculator buttons, and then uses the 2 callbacks. In order to run the application, we will give some parameters to Hello ImGui. Title, where to save the settings, what is the user interface function, how to load additional fonts, how to read and save the settings, and then we are ready to run the application.